Prescott Times, and I appreciate you guys. So I want to show my appreciation out there to all of you cool people. So, anyways, Eric, I always like to go ahead and put that out there in order for everybody to understand. The longer that they stay on our videos, the better it is because you guys get paid for this. And paid, I mean, you guys get the opportunity to utilize some of the people that have been sponsoring these awesome morning shows. So, good morning, Eric. How are you doing?
I'm good. You ready for what day it is today?
What is it?
All right. So today is National Cheesecake Day.
I can get on board with that. I will go get cheesecake right now. I mean,
So, Janet's Cheesecakes, right? Right downtown?
is it? Yeah, yeah. There's a what's her name?
Janet's Cheesecakes.
Jenna's cheesecake.
Shannon's, I think. Isn't it Shannon's?
Shannon's. There we go. Shannon's. Yeah. Yes, that's exactly what it is.
Have you had them there before?
Yeah. Actually, I have. I went down there. They actually do more than just cheesecakes too. So they have sandwiches and wraps and very fresh food. So I really like that.
But we're
Yeah.
talking about the cheesecakes here. What are the cheesecakes good?
Yes. I ended up having, well, they have a bunch of different flavors. If you actually go in there at the time that they're doing samples, you can sample, I think, every cake that they have out. It's freaking amazing.
I may have to check out that.
Yeah, before COVID-19, they used to go downtown with a sampler plate.
Yes, I remember.
19, you can't get that no more. So, wow, you got to buy the whole thing now.
That's okay.
But you know what else has it? The rustic pie right here down on Hillside, over there on Fair Street actually, and they do some pretty cool pies over there. And I'm yet to go ahead and try their cheesecake, but they do have it. I tried their banana cream pie. It's a special pie that you have to order. Sometimes you get lucky and it's in their pie for the day. But man, that was amazing. It's really really good. I like it a lot.
All right. Well, there you go. So that's the National Day today. So go out and buy local. There's plenty of it.
Yes, buy local. So, one of the things that we do not like to do is we do not like to go ahead and have any kind of, I guess, bad news being reported. But, one of the things that are going on right now is this huge, like, child trafficking like scenario. I don't know if you've been watching it or seen it, Eric. Everybody has been talking about the Epstein Netflix deal, and now all of this stuff is starting to come out about pedophilia and also child trafficking. And the reason why I'm talking about it this morning is because this coming weekend, doing an awareness of child trafficking, and my buddies have put it on, and they asked me if I would help to get the word out. So that's why we're talking about it. And it just so happens that yesterday, reports were given to two individuals that were arrested, and they did have a child that was with them that was 15 years old, now currently 16 years old, that was subjected to child trafficking here locally in Prescott, Arizona. So that is kind of sad, and it's also kind of scary because this type of stuff is actually happening in our area. Now, if you guys read the story, it seems like there was something going on where it's just a story that you're going to have to read. So I posted it this morning on the Facebook page. You can go ahead and read it on the PrescottTimes.com, and then you guys can go ahead and get into that story. But once again, the reason why we're talking about it is because we want to bring awareness, and it seems crazy. I've been seeing crazy numbers as far as 800,000 children go missing a year. And
I read that too. I couldn't believe it, to be honest with you, San Martin.
Yeah, and if you guys go down this thing that call the rabbit hole, it is not a good. It's not a good thing, especially when you have children and you want to make sure that you are actually taking care of them. And one of the biggest things that are happening to child trafficking is that they're finding them online, and they're finding the vulnerability of kids that are probably like, I hate home, I don't want to be here, or even the ones that are, hurting for money and broke. That's one of the things how a lot of these children got abducted, or even ran away, and found people that were not good for their future.
So, San Martin, you did post a week ago about the runaways from the school in Prescott Valley where they found.
Yeah. That hasn't been disclosed yet. And people were thinking that they were really close to 18, so they only had a few more weeks before they were able to go ahead and be on their own. But since they're off on not on their own, like will, they're probably going to be subjected to some sort of like disciplinary actions since it was a court ordered scenario. So they're probably still wanted, Eric, and they're probably still needing to come and fulfill their stay, which is their sentence. In other words, they don't like to call it a juvenile; they like to call it a school.
It's
Just
an
like
alternative to going to juvenile, right?
eh,
Yeah.
you, um, it's a really thin line, Eric. It's actually really a jail. They actually get locked up into a room, a cell, and are behind.
Really?
They are behind a fence, and you do have to have credentials to get behind that fence in order for you to get into their dormitory or even their schooling area. They have to be escorted on every level up there. They have probation officers, uh, officers. They have like what they call, jail officers, but they're not really officers. They're just the teachers, they call them. So
Guards. Yeah.
there you go. What guards? Guard it. Guard it all up.
I didn't realize. I knew it was an alternative. I didn't realize it was that enforced.
Yeah, well, the reason why I know, back in the days, we used to go up there for Bible study, and we used to do Bible studies there at the girls' home, and also at Adobe Mountain in Phoenix. And then we would also go to the Yavapai County jail, and also just talk with people there, because a lot of them feel, you know they feel remorseful, they feel bad for being there. They obviously, nobody wants to be locked up. But one of the things that I found with those scenarios is that some listen and some just don't get right. So the system is made to make them go back to normal. But we know some of the stories. Some people are just repeat offenders and they just can't get right. Sometimes you just can't get right because the man gets you down. You can't get a job with a felony. So that's why you teach your kids, don't get a felony. And you also teach them how to not, like, to listen. I mean, that's the number one. So anyways, crazy lives for crazy times, man. It happens. But
Well, hopefully they find them. And it's crazy. You're right. You see all the pop-ups, missing kid, missing runaway that happen on Facebook, and sadly, I would have to say it's probably only a fraction of them, right? I mean, that's the sad part is a lot of people don't have that family that's out there looking for them, and they never get seen.
nope. And it's just probably a friend or two that haven't talked with them, haven't seen them, and they're just like, hey, we haven't seen him. And then all of a sudden they go into the missing report to, abducted or something to that effect. And it's getting to the point where it has to be talked about. And that's some of the things that are not on the airwaves right now, because obviously we're going through an election year. But there's some big things that are happening right now. We're talking about COVID-19 that has a 99 point whatever percent recovery rate. So it is what it is. Here we are. We got some other things that we need to talk about, but I just wanted to bring it to everybody's attention that
Is there any more details about the event,
which one?
the one this weekend that's related to this?
Negative. Oh, we do have the event up and running. So you just got to go to the events and see the location that they're going to be posted up. That's something that you probably need to go ahead and make sure that you know about it. It was originally supposed to be around the courthouse, the city, Prescott Valley City Court, but then they changed it to some other location. So I'll look that up, and it will be posted on the Prescott Times today. So you guys can go ahead and follow up if you want to go ahead and participate. So there's one of the things that have been happening just lately, as far as downtown Prescott, is that we've been putting events up, putting events down, putting events up. The best thing that's happening this weekend is events are going back to normal. It looks like, with obviously you guys go out there and make sure you practice social distancing, physical distancing, and they're doing the music thing, and then it's Road One North, I think it's called.
Tomorrow night, right?
As tomorrow night. And the Road One North, they played a lot of Eagles tribute. They're like a tribute Eagle band, if I'm not mistaken. And you have to love that on a summer night. It seems like something that you would want for sure. It makes a lot of fun to be a part of something like that. So I can't wait. You know, it seems like it's coming back just a tad bit. We are trying to do farmers markets, so there's farmer market that are popping up.
Hey,
Uh,
real quick before you jump on events, are they? I think they're going to live stream that, right? So for the people that are not comfortable going out, so I guess you'll do your best to try to watch party that when it happens, right?
yeah, they always do the live events, so you guys can watch it from the comfort of your home, and that's what needs to be done. Safety first.
And Annie's saying apparently Annie's a fan. It's Road One South.
Nice. Road One South is definitely. That's it. Thanks, Annie.
I thought we were talking about a roundabout in Chino. So
Yeah, Road. Okay, yeah, Road. Annie always worked to help us out. Yeah, Road One
yep,
South.
Road One
That's,
South is a band. Okay, are they local or are they from out of the area?
oh, they're actually from the area, so it's really honestly a good band. I like it. I like them when they're kind of, when you have the traditional cover bands that come in, it just brings back memories, and everybody knows how to associate with a lot of the music that comes out. So I like cover bands. Prescott has a good amount of them for sure. You just got to figure out your little bit of your flavor in order for you to figure out where you want to hang out. But any kind of event when you want to do something is good for anybody. So
Perfect. And you were talking about the farmers market again, right? Is that where you're going?
yeah, we're moving full board with the farmers market. Put out a couple signs yesterday. Hopefully they stay up until we can get a banner or two. But I think we're going to try it one more time and see how receptive people are. Because one of the things that we are finding now is that when you do something for others and you do it for no price whatsoever, I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but it just seems like nobody's really committed when they don't have no money in the game. So we want to see what we can do for people that are willing to come out and actually put their stuff up. There's no fees, and we're gonna basically do all the marketing for you guys and help you guys out. And hopefully you guys can start something and make something to put on your plates, and that's the whole reason for this. So we're going to see how we do. If not, I have another idea in the background, and I think that we're going to make something happen so we can help out the local community or give them, a little bit of something to look forward to. So there's something.
Is the farmer market, is it going to be the same place again on Monday?
Yes, it will be over at Los Pinos on Monday from 4 to 8.
Okay, great.
So
And
that
food trucks again? I mean, any more details? Food trucks, vendors?
yes, as of right now, we do not know how many food trucks are going to be there. A lot of people were committed to come back and enjoy that whole deal, but we'll see what happens. We don't know exactly what time everybody will show up, but we know that we want everybody to be ready there by 4 p.m. and then we get started and try to have some fun, look for something to do. And remember, it's a grab and go. So you grab your food, check out the merchants that are there, and then you move on because once again, we want to make sure everybody's safe and disinfecting tables and all that is kind of like uh, seems like a task that we could probably put on later. We just got to see how it works.
Well, and that's the thing everybody needs to know. I mean, there was a lot of space out there. I didn't feel like everybody was on top of each other. I mean, even the vendors were pretty spaced out.
Yeah, definitely. It was awesome. I liked it a lot. People seem to have a good turnout. And the best thing that I've heard, even if it wasn't like extravagant with a bunch of merchants there, it was more or less that everybody was like, well, I have something to look forward to. And that's all I needed. I was like, yeah, there's something to look forward to. We got something to do. So just come out and support it. It's something local. This is not really catered to tourism, and it's definitely 100% local. So we'll see how that works out. So the patio extensions in downtown Prescott is being like addressed in not a severe way, but in a way where we need to go ahead and try to see what's really going on because there's one restaurant downtown, which is Rosas, that it seems like it's taken over the whole parking like area right there on Gurley Street. They're like, let's extend the whole thing. So we just got this in the email this morning, so I'm going to go ahead and release this to you because I know a lot of people have been asking about it.
Is this from the
Even
city?
business. This is from the city. The city of Prescott wrote us about the patio extensions and parklets for outdoor dining in Prescott. In the city's ongoing efforts to curb the impacts of COVID-19 on our citizens and support our local businesses, staff have been working diligently to create streamlined options for restaurants to extend their outdoor seating. The following temporary procedures have been established, and business owners are encouraged to work closely with staff on this process.
They've all been approved and they're all good, right?
Yeah, you're good.
Ceci! Go get my mask, or is it not required?
See, this is a family-ran business. Restaurants that would like to extend into sidewalks that are not in city right-of-way need to work with the landowners for permission, but the 48-inch ADA obstruction free requirement still applies. Restaurants wishing to extend into city right-of-way or parking areas may coordinate with the city public works department to obtain licensing agreement, which provide an exemption in the city code, allowing chairs and tables in right-of-way and relaxes associated signage requirements. The following will be required in order to obtain the
Affirmation, I'm guessing.
affirmation licensing agreement, insurance policy documents naming the city of Prescott or as additional insured, fencing and includes approved by the city of Prescott, inspection of the proposed extension. Restaurants that serve alcohol have obtained a licensing agreement through the city of Prescott or have reached an agreement with the property owner of encroachment. File a no-fee temporary extension of premises application with the city's clerk. Application will be routed to the Department of Liquor Licensing and Control for approval. May be approved for up to 6 months. It is our hope that the temporary policy will allow our local businesses to continue to serve the public and sustain the business during these difficult times. So this could be a game changer for the bars. If I'm not mistaken, this could possibly be something that could actually work with the local bars and or maybe even the local restaurants that need to go ahead and get more seating. Go down to the city and let's go ahead and
have a conversation with them. They want to help. I know that,
They need to help. They need it in order for the economy to stay up, and they need it because once again, this is life or death for a lot of people.
Yeah, they were outside working on the Roses one when they were assembling it. We drove by and rolled down the window and yelled at them, "Great job!" Because I love the innovation, and I love that they took the initiative to work with the city to get it done. And now that the city's done it, other businesses have the opportunity to do it.
Yeah, and that's exactly what everybody is in need of is innovation and ability to go ahead and get their information out, and that's what it's all about right now. And if you are not innovative and you're not trying, then there's something that is going to happen, and it's called close down. I just got word yesterday that it's not a for sure thing. I might not even say that, but I'm just going to say gyms are closing for good. And it's sad because these are some things that are needed for some people. We just need it, and that's the need right now. We need it, and if we don't have it, we lose focus on kind of like what America is all about. You know what I'm saying? That's what America.
I hear what you're saying.
America is fun, So I think that we need to go ahead
and on those threads, I'm seeing San Martin, like in the groups, there's a lot of fighting about the gyms in the local Prescott groups, and some people, and I feel for them, business wise, but that's business, right? Gyms, bars, they're risky businesses. And gyms often make a lot of money off of a lot of people that don't use it, and then it's impossible to quit. Gyms are a tough business, but a lot of people had suggestions. Why are they not doing outdoor stuff at parks and holding classes and athletic events and things like that outside? Because that stuff hasn't been banned.
The government. Okay, so how the government ran was in the beginning the governor gave the mayors the opportunity to go ahead and do things with their communities or their areas. And I guess, a couple of mayors in Arizona failed to go ahead and comply and get, keep things functioning properly. So the spike in COVID did not happen. And when that happened, the governor took all of their rights and said, I'm just going to take over right now. and so that's what he did. He took over. So what happened is that this innovation of like doing other things could have been in the hands of the mayors, but because of him taking back those capabilities, it basically ties.
I'm pretty sure they can still do events outside. And so I don't know. I love the innovation.
Talking to Marco, the owner of Matt's, he was like, they can do it. I was like, well, why doesn't the mayor Magarelli or Kel Palguda, step up and start doing things? He does. They would, but their hands are tied. So that's what he said to me, not knowing exactly what the executive.
And I don't know the details of the licensing and things like that. He also said that whatchamacallit next door. What is the big next door?
The Palace.
The Palace. He said they're having their best year ever. And he's like, that's not really fair considering the laws that are set up. So and we've had this conversation. And maybe it's a licensing thing, but why don't some of these bars start serving food and reduce capacity and put in tables? I mean, if there's a will, there's a way, right?
I don't know, Eric. I mean, what I would have been doing was teaming up with the food truck and saying, hey, man, we're going to go ahead and put our food truck out front. But the problem is on some of this stuff is that there's a 60/40 and you obtain a license that only enables you to sell alcohol.
Right.
Whether it be beer and spirits or beer, spirits, and hard alcohol. And then there's another one where you sell food and alcohol. And
right.
then
It seems like the city is really open to working with people. I can't imagine that they wouldn't issue temporary licenses for 60/40s.
And then that's where it kind of like the rubber meets the road, as that they say, is that that's the reason why some of these bars are a little bit upset. Like, look at this bar over here, they're acting like it never happened, nothing's ever happened to them. And
in Phoenix, San Martin, I get it. There's so many people, so many things, so many bars. There's no way the city's going to make any exceptions. But we're in Prescott, and the city listens, and the city council listens, and the mayor listens. Same thing with Chino and Prescott Valley. I don't understand. And again, maybe it's ignorance on my part for that type of business, but man, if there's a will, there's a way. And I love that our cities are small enough to where they will work with these businesses, just like that patio. Why aren't they working with these bars, or why aren't these bars saying, hey, issue us a temporary 60/40?
Well, see, the other thing is that, okay, say for instance, we are working with the bars, as if I'm, a council member or whatever it may be. Then you have people like, I think it's Sidekicks out in Prescott Valley that kind of push the limits, and they basically sell bar food, which you're allowed to sell bar food, but it doesn't have the license of the 60/40 or the 507 or whatever it is, liquor license. And so I guess word has said that this past weekend, their bar was packed and they got shut down by the police. They weren't complying to the only 10 you can only congregate in 10 people. So I mean, that's you can only congregate in 10 people. You can only have 25 or under 50% capacity in your place, and you have to have social distancing and all that other stuff put into place. It's just like there's so many rules and regulations. It's like, how do you comply? And how do
I don't know. I was at Wildflower yesterday for a meeting, and they seem to figure out how to comply. I mean, they have signs on every other table. I mean, everything was spaced out. You got to wear a mask. I mean, they seem to figure it out. And all I'm saying is, if there's a will, there's a way. And we're so fortunate to live in these small towns where the city government is listening and willing to work with us. And I have a hard time with the businesses that are just like, oh, I'm being forced this, when I know there are ways. I mean, if you really want it bad enough and you want to work with the city, they're listening. And there's ways out there to it's not going to be like your dream business. No way. I mean, that's not none of us are in our dream businesses right now, right, San Martin? I mean, nothing is how we envisioned our life this moment. But we got to keep going to make it out the other side. And there are ways and there are options.
I definitely agree. There's opportunity everywhere, and if you take it, you will go ahead and get it. And if you're not one of those innovative people, you're going to be kind of standing down right now and losing your business, like I've seen so many before. And having them put this press release out means that the people that I was talking with just this past week, I think they went down to the city and started chatting with them. One of
Good.
them was Angry Sicilian or the Angry Sicilian. Have you eaten there yet?
I have not. No.
Yeah, well, he just opened up. He just bought the Devil's Pantry and turned it into the Angry Sicilian.
I've heard a lot about it. Yeah.
Yeah, and one of the owners, I guess. I mean, well, I've known him forever, and he started talking about it. I was like, why don't you go down to the city and tell him that this is what you want to do? And he goes, I'm going to go do that. And it just amazes me that people haven't done that. I mean, I pleaded my case in order for me to go ahead and have the farmers market, and they complied and listened. So
And you did it safely, and you follow the rules, and it worked out well.
exactly. So, and nobody is feeling bad about being there. Everybody is actually complying, and everybody was having fun. I think that it was a great deal, and it can actually happen for everybody if we do it right.
Yeah, no. So it's back to the thing we've been saying since the start of the show. Don't sit around and wait for it to get better. Just go out and innovate. Do it.
You have to, and if you don't, then there's you're going to lose something, man, and it's something that you put your money into. Okay, just go back to the human trafficking. Greg Eagles just posted it's 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. around the downtown square in Prescott. So that's going to be this weekend, and then Prescott Valley, it's going to be from 5 to 8, intersection of Florentine and Glasford Hill Road. So you guys definitely see it. So that's awesome. Good job. Thanks, Derek, Craig. His name was in front of me, and I still want to call him a different name. Man, I'm getting myself hurt sometimes. I'm always thinking about what I can do to mess things up.
Well, good. I mean, so and you've got your thing coming up. That's exciting. Another market. I mean, you got a couple minutes left. I think you got 2 minutes left in the show. Anything else that we're missing locally besides the concerts? I mean, we covered a lot today.
Yeah, well, there's so much more, and we can't cover it all in the time that we have for our morning show. But we are looking for people to go ahead and interview and put on our morning vlog cast.
Hey, did you speaking of that's what we forgot the seeds? I did ask a couple of people to look into it, but did you get any feedback of those seeds that are getting mailed out from China?
No, I tried to call Waters Garden, and they had a beautiful answer machine, but they just kept on going and going. I'm like, geez, I think I just got to go down there and find kindling. And then I'm going to open up the interview with them, and I'm going to see what happens, see what the community's talking about. But yeah, do not plant those seeds, guys. I don't know what it is. Don't even smell them. I have no clue what it is.
It's funny. I sent you a text message yesterday. I was at the Wilder House doing some work, and you were talking about those Chinese invasive trees that came from the concentration camps. I was like, "Is this what you're talking about?" And the yard is just full of them, and you're like, "Yep."
Yep, that's it. And like I said, I feel like they planted those because, once again, I think they actually serve a purpose. And I might be totally freaking mistaken, but I'm going to try to get a hold of somebody because I try to look for those actual leaves or weeds or whatever they were, and try to Google it, but I couldn't find it and what the name was and where it originated from. So I'm going to try.
I sent you pictures. They turn into some really big trees.
Yeah, they've been there for a while, Eric, and it's not a common branch at all in our area for sure. So I'll try to get the info on it and see what I could get. It's always good to have a little bit of history if everybody wants to know more about Prescott, but and how things got here and how come this is this and how come that's that.
Well, and you were talking about tunnels too, and it's almost time to wrap up. Jerry commented that the tunnels, and I didn't realize this. He said that 20 years ago, one collapsed in front of the Wilder House, which is all the way up to Aubrey Street.
And oh yeah, they were actually doing road work there.
Yeah, he said the city had to come in and fill it in, but that is crazy to me that the tunnels. I mean, the rumors are they went all the way from the that Speakeasy Laundromat, which is way over on what street is that? It's north of Burley in what?
Granite Street. Granite Street.
Granite Street. Yeah, so Granite Street there, and all the way up to Aubrey Street. That is crazy amount of tunnels.
Yeah, well, the Asian community at that time was it was they didn't want to be there. They didn't have to be there, and it was just a bad time in life for them to be here in our local area because they actually, if I'm not mistaken, they were kind of like the lowly part of the totem pole from from what I heard. And then ultimately, they were kind of like the workers in our area. A lot of them came here to be that type of worker. We actually Prescott was a holding ground for what was it Fort Whipple. Fort Whipple was here, so it
Yes,
was a base in some say. In some
it was a base, and there was a lot of Chinese workers brought here for the mining. So around the turn of the, it's funny, I say the turn of the century, but you realize, San Martin, that we're so far into the 2000s now that the turn of the century is 2000. So the turn of the century is, I mean, 1900s. That there was a lot of Chinese workers, and there's a lot of history. I've got some cool books, and if anybody's wants to know more, there's a couple of groups in, was it celebrating historic Prescott, things like that, in Facebook, where they post stuff daily, and there is so many cool things that they post.
You gotta look into it. It's just fun to go ahead and be a part of it. I mean, if you guys are into history, a lot of us are trying to figure out what's happened for our future. So we gotta have to,
Hey, history repeats itself. It's good to know the past.
yeah, history does repeat itself. Hopefully, we can go ahead and stop the. Hopefully, we can stop that saying. I really honestly think it's a curse. No, we don't want a history to repeat herself. Dang it!
It's human nature. It just is.
I don't know, Eric. I'm gonna try to say I'm definitely 100% against the history will repeat itself saying again.
If you don't know it, it's easy to do. That's the whole point behind the saying. So it's
Well,
really it.
that's what I'm saying, that we should be able to learn from our history so we don't bring it back.
Yep, that's the point. Yep.
We got to find a new saying for this, Eric. We just have to do it right now. We have to do it.
Create a new history.
Yes.
Well, no, don't rewrite history. We don't want that. That's too much of that going on.
Well, unless you want to reinvent the wheel that needs to be reinvented, then let's do it.
Yeah. All righty, my friend. It is that time of day. It is time to take us out.
All right. Peace, love, and happiness. Let it not be war, everybody. If you want more information, please go to our business page and also our website, theprescotttimes.com. And there you can go ahead and find a lot of information. One of the things that we would love for you guys to do, if you have any stories or if you want anything to be, talked about, or something that you want us to research, we'll go ahead and try to find our best to go ahead and make that happen. And once again, thank you, Eric. I appreciate your time. Thank you, everybody, for showing up. And don't forget, top fans are going to be getting some. And I will be presenting that next week with a proper flyer for top fans. You guys are going to be my favorites. Thank you, guys. Bye.
You forgot the main thing.
What is it?
Your sign out, your famous sign out.
Oh, peace, love, and happiness. Let it not be war. Have a good day.